Hi, this is Florian from lifesciencementor.com, and today I'm talking about day 9 of the 180-day Idea Machine Challenge. And today's ideas are about 12 ways to improve traveling in economy class or in coach. A couple days back, I talked about several ideas to make the next flight experience a more fulfilling one, a more easier one. And basically, this was how you can make your travel a little bit easier. And now these suggestions deal with how airlines could make their travel a little bit more convenient, a little bit more fun for the passengers. So first of all, I think one way to improve traveling in economy class is to allow people to sync with their own online accounts. That doesn't mean that you need to be hooked up to the internet all the time. You could offer that to people at the beginning or at the end of a flight. But basically, what I think would be really great, since most people have an iTunes account or SoundCloud or Google account, whatever there is, Amazon and so on. Instead of relying on the bland music samples they have in economy, customers could have free access to their accounts, right? And then you can download the podcasts or music that you already have online in your own library, right? You could maybe even download movies from Netflix or HBO if you have that, if you hooked up to those services. And maybe the airlines could add like a $10 to $20 complimentary coupon where you could download a book or you could download some music. And so you had your own movies, your own music, your own shows from iTunes or Netflix, right? And so then this would make flying a lot more fun for a lot of different people. Then something I had in when I flew with Emirates, but not every airline has it. We got a complimentary toothbrush, soap, deodorant set, and that was great because you could go right ahead and refresh yourself. Especially on long international flights, it's a bit dreadful. You have to sit there still, and you can't really change your clothes, and it still goes on for 8-10 hours. You basically sit on one spot, and in the end, you feel like it's a complete hassle. And then you land in the morning in like a different country. You have to fight with time delay and so on. Yeah, completely dehydrated. It would be good if you had some way to refresh yourself, right? Could have like a hand moisturizer because air on flights is really dry, and so just some little gadget, little services, little creams, little tube of shampoo or anything like that. It's just a nice gesture. And as Mike Cernovich said in one of his videos where he talked about travel gadgets and tips for flying, he suggested to take a lot of socks with you. And I guess the airlines could also supplement, like give you one pair of socks. Like there's universal socks, right? Those you can stretch a bit. So you can basically change from your old socks into new ones when you land. That would be an idea. Then one of the biggest problems if you fly coach and you have a longer time is you can't really sleep in these seats. And I understand that if you have a fully reclinable seat, like in business class, that would take too much space. But I think stewardesses and the crew, they have some sort of compartment where they have their own bed. So why not make some of these compartments accessible for customers as well? I would pay a little bit more for that. Like, so you charge people instead of the economy price, the normal price, you charge them 1.5 times as much. And you can use the bed on longer flights. That would be something I would like, and probably a lot of different customers as well. Talking about being like dehydrated and in the same clothes for a long time, let people use showers at the airport. Maybe ideally on the plane, but that may be difficult for space reasons. But if you open up the airport lounges or have like some sort of bathroom for people to use, even for people in economy class. They don't need to hang out at the chimney or whatever, drink like exclusive cocktails, whatever. Business class people have their own lounges, right? But you can have some showers for people just to, just to refresh themselves after landing. That's number 5. Number 6 is a luggage packing and pickup service. What if you don't have to bother with packing your suitcases and schlepping them with you? What if the airline would give you a carrier service? They could come knock on your door 1 or 2 days before. They can even pack your suitcase and then take it with them. You may even be able to use a smaller suitcase because those people are professionals in packing. And I think in one of the videos from MJ DeMarco, he talked about if you type on "I hate" on Twitter, you see what people don't like. Many people don't like packing for moving. So there would be a possibility for companies to just pack people's stuff, right? So if you just pack people's suitcases and then maybe give them the choice to take it with you and check it in for them in the airport, that would be great. I'd sign up for a service like that. And similar to that, airlines could offer a complimentary ground transport in a little bus. You have these ground transports, right, by Super Shuttle or these airport carrier services. They just have a little bit of a flaw from time to time that they pick up like 8 different passengers all over the city, and then they cut it a little bit short sometimes, and you get scared that you may miss your plane. So if airlines would also offer their own ground transport service, and you could be assured that you reach your flight, or if you don't reach that flight, since you're in a like bus that belongs to the airline, you'd be easily could be arranged from the bus. The driver says, "Oh, we won't make this flight, but I'm very sorry, but we can get you place on the next flight already." That would alleviate a lot of concern, a lot of people's concern. That would make traveling a lot less of a source of nervousness, right? For me, it's always I always get nervous when I start traveling, and this nervousness don't subside until the plane leaves the ground. If I would be traveling in a bus by that very same, if I would have a Lufthansa flight and Lufthansa would pick me up with their own bus, I would feel I'm already in Lufthansa halfway in the airplane, and I would worry much less. And you'd probably also coordinate it much more easily that people get there in time, since it's the same company. So number 8 would be a designated gym or a room where you have some yoga mats or anything. It doesn't need to be a big room. Just have a room on board where people can go and stretch a little bit, right? You like sit there like a little sardine in your seat. If there was a room where you can just go and stretch a little bit, walk a little bit around, that would be a great service. And maybe it could have some weights in one corner that you could even like do some weightlifting while you're there on longer flights. Then why not? That would be an interesting service and something that actually would make flying in coach a little bit nicer. Then if you fly frequently, you realize that your feet get swollen and rather cold after a longer flight. And I don't really think that is due to, of course, it's not due to the cabin being less isolated on the bottom than where your head is. It's just a matter of fact that your extremities become cold when you fly. I don't really know why that is. Maybe something to do with the dry air. What could be done against that is, yeah, if the airline, as I mentioned before, offers some complimentary socks, you could warm your feet with them as well. Or I don't know, maybe you can put in like some heating towards the bottom, like towards the ground of the cabin, or you could have a heated floor and have some little little heating fan. I mean, one reason why your feet get cold is probably because the luggage compartment is really underneath the cabin, and so there's a little bit colder air from down there, like seeps in into the cabin. Whatever it is, if airlines have a way to keep your feet warm, that would be a great service. And then for people whose luggage gets lost or doesn't get on the flight, something like that, instead of just providing a tag, and then you have to chase and have to describe how your suitcase looks like and so on and so forth, why not with check-in automatically take a digital photo of your luggage? Right? They put it on this long assembly line, moving assembly line. You put your luggage on there, it gets transported automatically to the cars that bring you to the airline. When they check the luggage in, they could have a little camera there that automatically snaps a photo. And then then you don't only have the tag for the luggage, but you also know how it looks like. And you can have a much easier time and are much faster in identifying lost luggage because you exactly know which shape you look for, and then you look at the tag and that matches up. That would be helpful. Number 11, if you have kids, they can't sit still all the time. So in extension of that room where you could stretch and walk around, why not have a little playroom for kids? Some toys there. And if that's not possible, maybe just give kids a little toy or drawing book, something like that, that gets them occupied. I'm sure some airlines doing that already, but that was just an idea that I think would be good for every airline to implement. It doesn't need to be so expensive, like a little toy. How expensive can it be? $1, $1.50? Nah. And number 12 is a room where people could socialize. You have that in first and business class often, but it would be great just to have a little room with a little bar for people to socialize in economy. And it's a financial incentive for the airline as well, because they can sell much more easily duty-free stuff to the customer. They could make a profit on booze they sell, and that could maybe be very easily remedied. And you could just give access to everyone to the bar, or have a little room where to socialize. Lately, you always have these have like some curtains between business class and first class, and that sort of separates people. And whoever wants to mingle, why not have a central room where everyone can come together and talk, right? That's basically it. 12 suggestions how airlines could make travel in economy class better. Thank you very much for listening. If you like this video, click on the like button on YouTube. Leave your comment if you have some additional ideas or if you have some remarks. I answer every comment, whether you leave them on my blog or on the corresponding YouTube video. And I wish you a great start into the new week, and see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.